while we have everybody on the line, I thought just to take advantage of a few moments and the incredible caliber of panelists that we have here on the line, to ask a question to our panel. Can you each go over a technology or a company in particular, depending on whether you're government or if you're coming from the corporation side or the investor side, an opportunity that you missed out on that to this day you're looking at and saying, wow, I wish I had made that investment, signed that contract, or engaged in that partnership? Well, don't feel shy. Go ahead and jump right in.
So I'll jump in, but I'm going to redirect the question. So part of the problem in government is sometimes you see the future perhaps better than other folks within government, and our system is not necessarily agile. So you sometimes have to set the stage for something to happen, realizing that it's not going to be done quickly, but it will be done eventually. And I think that's what I've been trying to do really for the last 25 years is have that long-term vision, figure out the direction that we should be going, and then work towards that through all of the friction necessary to make it all work. So I would say that there are things that are out there that I think are still absolutely valuable, and we will eventually integrate those. We just haven't got there yet because the time may not be right, the money may not be right, technology may still not be where it needs to be for us to be able to integrate that. And part of it is telling the compelling story then that makes our senior leaders understand what we're trying to do and convince them that that's where they should reallocate the resources to make it work. So that's my thought.
Sure. Thank you, Ted. Thank you for that.
I was just going to say that I can think of a lot more deals that I wish I hadn't done.
I purposely did not ask that question. I didn't want to get into the shame game. Yeah, absolutely. How about Jen? Do you mind representing the city of New York and saying, what type of technologies would you wish would be integrated within the city?
Great. Hey, everyone. So it's actually not so related to like IoT and whatnot, which is kind of the theme of this session right now. But I lead our Moonshots program, and we're really focusing in on technology that can be utilized for financial inclusion and building community wealth. So it's a different kind of angle and may not be super relevant to this group here, but really looking for solutions on that front.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Rose, can you chime in also?
Yeah, for us, I agree. What Ted said is really resonating with me as well. Sometimes it's really just the timing. It's not necessarily something that we wanted to bring in just because of the timing, and the stakeholders may be working on some other initiatives. But at the same time, it's actually a crucial technology that we need to bring in. We may not be meeting the timing of the investments opportunity in certain areas in logistics, but definitely we are a long-term stakeholders in this industry. So just keep pinging us and letting us know that where your progress is. Sometimes it just might take a few times talking and getting the right stakeholders in order to get on board and launch the products. So if it's not this year, it's probably end of this year. So I think it's important for entrepreneurs to be persistent during this process. We meet, but then it also takes some conversations in order for a corporate to really go through some of the obstacles in order to really bring in the products to a larger market and adoption.
Very nice. It's interesting to hear you agreeing with Ted coming from a government perspective and Rose coming from a major corporation perspective, but with the kind of the same added insight on being persistent, even if the bigger organization is being slow on uptake. Destry, do you want to round us out there?
Yeah, I would agree with what both of them are saying. I mean, one of the problems is on the government side and probably on the commercial side, we pay as much for the bureaucracy as we do for the technology. And that bureaucracy burden ends up being on both sides as we move through the problem. I end up paying more in the long run. They end up having to take out a hide in the beginning as they try to get through the myriad of problems to get to us. With that, I mean, technology that comes through, I mean, it's one of the things we're trying to do right now. How do we get better with analytics? How do we bring in AI? How do we use ML? How do those things actually augment the force as a whole and stop thinking in stovepipes? We're very good at getting technologies such as tanks, but the thing that makes that tank unique has nothing to do with the tank. It has everything to do with all the systems that are attached to it and the architectures that build that. And so it's those underlying tools that are really important to us and making sure that we have the ability to actually bring in these new technologies to further enhance the capabilities. And I think those platforms are great. We spend a lot on them, but it's the things that go with them that we've got to understand exactly how we're going to integrate to them and how we're going to open them up in a cyber unsecure environment that we all live in now, and how we work through those things. So I think those are some of the things that are important as we move forward.
100%. So basically the rise of dual use, these commercial applications, which have a potential cross application across Department of Defense, NASA, Department of Homeland Security, and other federal agencies. Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for joining. Ted, Jacob, Rose, Mark, Jen, Charles, Destry, Todd, and also Carthy.